Mayor Raul Salinas, who's the issues starting also with the status on the applications for the Chief of Police. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We've gotten some very impressive applications. We have a lot of outstanding local candidates that are seeking the position of Chief of Police. We also have some people from Brownsville, San Antonio, Kingsville, and other areas, also from out of state. Most of the candidates that we'll be looking are qualified. There's some that are not qualified because they don't have the certification from the state or T-close, but very impressive applications. A lot of well-groomed, well-prepared, experienced, professional command level officers that are applying for this position. I would assume that it's going to take approximately maybe 2 to 2.5 months, maybe no more, but we will interview those that are able to meet the qualifications, and we're going to be very thorough. I can speak for myself, and I can tell you that what I want is I want a Chief of Police, the best that will guide this department, somebody that obviously has an understanding, a working understanding of the border, someone that has the credentials, obviously, someone that will be able to assimilate, work with the officers. I think that's extremely important. Well, most importantly, I think we want to have a Chief of Police that will also integrate with the people. I want him to go to the community centers. I want him to be, him or her to be out there to meet with the elderly. You know, I think it's important for any Chief of Police to be accessible to the people. I want him or her to have a open door policy. I think that's critical. I think that's very important. And obviously, someone that has held a supervisory position similar to the city of Laredo. But as I've scanned through the applications, I can tell you that there's some very impressive candidates. And
how many you've got so far?
Over 28. I think there's over 28. Some of them, obviously, if they fulfill the T-close application, well, then they will be looked at. But you know, that's a very important position,
right?
You know, in our city, and I certainly want the best for the community. I think the people of Laredo want the best. So obviously we're going to look at it with a tooth comb and really look at the candidates very carefully and select the best one. And we'll wait for the recommendations from the city manager, and then we'll affirm the recommendation that the city manager makes. But everybody's going to have the same opportunity, and just to make sure that we select the best one.
Something very quickly is also you guys are working on the budget.
Yes, we are working on the budget, and speaking of the budget, about $100 million of our budget goes to police and fire protection, which is quite expensive. But you know, like anything else, we're going to look at all the departments, make sure that everybody's doing their job, but most importantly, to make sure that everybody understands that we have to tighten our belt. We've been very fortunate. We still have a low unemployment. We have a ways to go, but I think what we have to do is work harder to bring manufacturing business, and I'm going to call on Laredo Development Foundation and the Chamber to let's go out and be more aggressive and bring business to Laredo.
Thank you, Mayor, so much for joining us this afternoon.